Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Phenomenal. Hello everyone, bit of a new intro there, bit of a new show. Hopefully my voice is working. I can still feel a little bit of weirdness in it. I haven't spoken for a week. But I had to cancel on Nandor. Actually, I never thought I'd see a worse intro than the gutter. But there we are. That intro gave us all a man-sized thirst. You don't like The Hobbit? No, well, that was Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? Anyway, I had to cancel on Nandor last week because I was sick. I'm still getting over it, but I'm that's why I'm not at work today, which I normally am, because I'm coughing everywhere, because I'm considerate. But I thought, you know what? If I don't get him in now, I won't be able to, because we've got a lot of exciting things happening the rest of the week. So, without any further ado, this will be a short stream. We'll keep it to about half an hour or so, but that's perfect because we're going to be checking out his campaign. I don't think we need much more than that. So without any further ado, let me just quickly say hello to the chat as always. Obviously, my bad. Sorry, I'm going to be getting through this because I don't want to make Nandor wait too long. But I do have to shout out Eric Grant, of course, who snagged his first for the year. In October, which is not better late than never. There we go, Eric. Got that beautiful Christopher looking down on us. I'll very quickly say hello to Mo Biggs. Indeed, a Tuesday show. We've got Jeremy Burtz. Mark's Music Obsession is here. Wolf and Bear, Creative WM. I see Jason couldn't be here, but he's saying hello nonetheless. Jolly's here. Henry Bemis, Michael Deitcher. And I will just say hello to Katie in Florida. What is up? All right. Hello, Nandor.
Hey, Bancroft. How you doing?
How you going, man? It's been a little while. How are you?
It has been. Yeah, I'm doing well. I can't thank you enough for, accommodating me and letting me come on and talk and
I
stuff.
used to do these shows. I used to do like little half an hour promo spots, and I don't know why I stopped, but it's actually kind of a perfect amount of time, I think, for talk about a book. Keeps the energy high.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you know what it's like out here making comics. It's so easy to get distracted, and we're all so busy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I apologize to Felix Huss in the chat. I did not say hello to our link master, who will undoubtedly today be dropping the link to your current campaign, which is Man-Child 1 to 3, which I'm excited to learn about. I don't know much about it. I'm a backer of yours. I haven't read the latest one you put out. Sorry, I'm totally blanking on the name.
Oh, you're good. The Fabled Offering. Yeah.
Fabled Offerings. I haven't read it yet because I haven't received it because I get everything sent to the US now. to
Right.
save on
That's
shipping,
right.
and then they get all of that shipped over in one, so it hasn't happened yet. But,
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you to read it. I think you'll
I'm
really
really
enjoy
looking
that book, and
forward
I mean, it's completely different from Man-Child, but, I think hopefully people who check it out will see the kinda range that I'm trying to go for with all
to
my
it. Yeah.
stories. Everything feels a little bit different, and that's definitely intentional. But I've had, many people reach out to me and tell me it's the best thing I've done so far, so I'm really,
Oh, that's
really
excellent.
excited. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited about that, and, it was such a experiment. It was something I'd never done before, and so I'm really happy that it seems like it landed, it worked. So hopefully we can get more to that story in the
I
future.
Yeah, I have heard good things, so I am, still, pumped about it.
Great.
It's actually shout out to Dr. Mask, Retro Elixir. We are, of course, simulcast live on Rumble, so shout out to the Rumble gang. But yeah, that artist that you got on that book was just and what a match made in heaven. And
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
exciting. But I
Markel.
saw this as well, and the art, especially the covers you got on this, completely different too than the Fabled Offerings, but
Yes.
nonetheless,
Yeah.
really eye catching and grabs the attention. And these are great. I remember seeing these the first time, but it was this cover here. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
ooh,
The
what
cream
is
of the
this?
crop. Yeah.
Beautiful. Tell
Yeah,
us
I
how this
know.
came about.
Yeah, so for people who don't know me very well, but if you want to know more about kind of the comics I grew up reading, I'm 27 years old. So when I started reading comics and really getting into going to my local comic book store on a regular basis, um, you know, Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting were on Captain America. It was like the Winter Soldier was just revealed, and I was getting into this story that was just really exciting at the time, and it's probably still the last great Captain America run that we've had. It's been like 15 or 20 years since we've had a really great one. And so Steve Epting, he was like a part of my childhood. His artwork is just everywhere. He's my favorite comic book artist, and it was always a dream of mine to be able to work with him. I never thought I'd be able to, especially in the indie scene. And so it was a shot in the dark, really. I reached out to him via email, and he was in between contracts, and he was. I sent him the PDFs of issues 1 and 2 and the character designs, and I made my pitch basically, right? And he really loved it. He really loved the story, and he loved the character design, and he wanted to go for it. So, it was just like out of nowhere. I still, can't really believe it. But it not only is it an amazing cover, but for me, it's very personally rewarding and fulfilling for someone who's such a big fan of his to
Mm.
like be working together on something. But
It's so cool to see. Yeah, there's been a
yeah.
bunch of people, in the indies who I think of the Diaz bros, Phil Diaz and Brandon, who got to have had I think multiple Simon Bisley covers now at this point.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
they're just,
Yeah.
you grow up, thinking these guys are sort of ungettable,
These
untouchable,
giants, right? Yeah.
and they are. But then you realize, but they're also working artists, and the scene is in such a state of flux now,
Right.
where their talents aren't necessarily being uh, lauded and rewarded in the way that they once were, unfortunately.
You're
Which is
very
kind of
right. Yeah. I mean, Epting really doesn't do that much anymore, but he did just announce he's going to be working with Rick Remender with Giant Generator for Image
nice.
next year. So that'll be
Nice.
really
There's
exciting.
so many
But
there's tons of great image books coming out recently, and I'm
yeah.
not reading any of them, but I'm just hearing these amazing things, and I'm seeing the art, and I'm like, "Man,
Yeah.
I gotta make time." So I've got this list I'm creating, it's just getting longer and longer of books I have to check out, and they
Yeah.
look
Yeah. There's
fantastic, and they're getting great reviews, and
There's a
I
boom
gotta
happening, I feel like,
yeah.
even more so, and I feel like there's a lot of great stuff that is starting to come out. I feel like we're kinda making a turn in
Mm,
some ways, but,
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, with Steve Epting, I sent him a couple of different cover options, a few sketches, but, it was like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how he works. I don't know how to communicate with him. So I was like, do whatever you want to do, but like, here's some ideas, right? And we landed on this idea of like having these six new characters that we're introducing in the story, all being silhouettes surrounding the Monarch Crier, who's the main superhero character of the book, and then with Professor Pilgrim, who's the arch nemesis, his eyes in the background, and it made for a very flashy but serious and exciting image. And I love the way he uses the colors for the cover because the orange and the white really pops against the green.
Yeah.
And so,
It's
there's a
definitely intriguing. I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I don't know anything about Man-Child. So I'm
yeah.
coming in blind right now. I didn't even know because I see you've got here as, it's Man-Child 1 to 3. So has there already been 2 issues and this is the 3rd and you're putting them all together? Or I didn't even know.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, I've published the first 2 issues already, crowdfunded
Mhm.
those, and so, I took a little break in between issues 2 and 3, but we're back with issue 3. It's gonna be a 6-issue limited series, and so we're right at the halfway point now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, it's super intriguing. It's definitely one of those things that if I saw this cover on a shelf in a shop, I would definitely stop and go, "What is this?"
Yeah.
It's unusual enough. There's that mystery, intrigue. It's interesting
Yeah,
characters,
there's an
and it's got
oddball
those
nature
eyes.
to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's, I guess to give it, the pitch really, Manchild is a superhero action dramedy that tells two alternating narratives between the Silver Age inspired superhero world with the Monarch Crier and his adventures and exploits and
That's him over
everything.
here, I'm
That's
assuming.
correct. Yeah,
Monarch,
yeah,
butterfly, I can kinda put those
yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's, a monarch butterfly superhero character, kind of in the vein of, Silver Age heroes, how they were mostly bugs or, creatures and things like that. So definitely inspired by the Marvel Age of Comics. So, 60s, 70s, Stanley, Ditko, Kirby type characters. And then while you're reading about his adventures, you're also reading about Rufus in the real world, who is this comic book nerd, and he is basically the man child of the story. But as a whole, you're getting this one complete narrative where the mystery is how do these two stories relate? What is their connection?
Mhm. Oh, I
And
love that.
yeah, the contrast between, the escapism and obsession of comic books, juxtaposed against the mundane reality of everyday life. So, um, Rufus is like this huge nerd and he's hanging out with his friends at the comic book store. He's going to the new, superhero film. And, he's having all these conversations with his friends about comics and what he loves about them and what he doesn't like about them. And, kind of the everyday conversations we have in real life. And in this issue in particular, he volunteers working at his local comic book store on a very busy new comic book day that he does not expect. And he's kind of all alone, fending for himself, and it's going to be tragedy strikes in this issue for him, and the issue is called Wednesday Warrior. So it's going to be a fun but emotionally impactful issue. It's
It's
one
a
of the
real
most
comic
exciting.
book reader's sort of story.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's this whole thing, this whole idea came after Stan Lee passed away in 2018. I was really heartbroken, and I wanted to do something kind of in his honor, do something that, kind of went back to what do we love about superheroes? Kind of reminding everyone, there's a reason why these characters have survived for, 80 years, 80 plus years. And at the same time, though, I didn't want to just do a nostalgia book. I wasn't looking for a trip down memory lane. I didn't want characters that just, looked and felt like, other derivative characters of, Marvel and DC variety. I wanted to do something that has that lightning in the bottle or that excitement that you can kind of get out of a Silver Age superhero story.
Yep.
But at the same time, you not only get that, but you also get that, you turn the page. and you're back in the real world. And it's kind of this meta commentary on how we view obsession and escapism with comics. So that's really kind of where it all started to click for me, and looking at how, a butterfly character is very non-threatening, and also the butterfly is kind of more of a feminine, I would say, like, image, and
Mhm.
there's, like, a fragility to that, but you have that contrast with someone like Rufus, who is just like this regular, everyday, average guy who's a comic book nerd, and it's kind of looking at how, uh just a regular dude, but we all want to be that the guy who beats the bad guy, saves the girl, and looks like, the best version of themselves. So that's
And
kind
gets
of
his
where
wings
that
damaged in the
the
process.
interplay between the Monarch Crier story. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's in this issue, the Monarch Crier, he's imprisoned on this island, called Canaan, and, Professor Pilgrim has, imprisoned his rogues gallery as well. He's sending out his rogues gallery to fight the Monarch Crier, and it's basically a competition to see which of his villains can, defeat him, and then, bring him to Professor Pilgrim, and whoever wins will be called the champion of Canaan and is allowed to leave. So all the villains in this story have this motivation to, defeat their enemy, but they have to also defeat each other to win. So it's going to be this kind of free for all battle royale going on with this issue.
I totally get what you say when there's that, uh, when it comes to superheroes, a connection to either the golden or silver age, and maybe to a lesser extent the bronze age,
Yeah.
is almost kind of integral to that, uh, bringing that sense of awe or wonder or whatever it is that superheroes embody. And I think that does kind of start lacking a little bit as you get further away from those eras. And I
Yeah.
see, like, not to be derivative, but linking back and paying homage to,
Yeah,
and
there's a balance and a
something
fine
about
line.
that
It's
time.
really hard to do superheroes now. It's
Yeah,
it's such an
yeah.
overly saturated,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
derivative
well, I think
type.
what I'm trying to say is when you try to
Yeah,
go super modern with it, to me, it always falls flat. Like, let's do a really
exactly.
super
Yeah,
modern take on a superhero, and I'm like, superheroes come about from a time and place, and,
yeah,
it was the
yeah,
30s to the 70s, 60s-ish,
right. There's
of
like
the
this,
20th century.
Americana,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you wanna see, like, Peter Parker in a diner, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily wanna see him, maybe at a modern day restaurant or whatever,
Yeah, no,
y
you're right.
like yeah,
Yeah. You
like
don't wanna
like
see
there's
him you don't wanna see him getting a frappe, latte, whatever,
yeah, you don't wanna see him at
yeah,
Starbucks,
Starbucks, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
you
That
wanna
is
see him at
true.
this, like, classic '60s diner with, checkerboard, floors and,
Yeah.
sipping a milkshake with
I
Gwen
hadn't thought about
Stacy and,
that, yeah, until you brought it up.
yeah, so
Diner, not grinder, says Trey. Yes, exactly. I gotta shout out some people in the chat who have very, very, very generously gifted some memberships here. Mr. Sumo Thori, we're trying to get our Super Ranch Mo Bigs a membership. For some reason, YouTube has decided that it's not going to give him a membership anymore. They don't want him
Ah,
to become a Super Brogan. But Jake, Colonel McHugh, Jonas, Now Bunny, and McShort, who are all regulars, did get one. So thank you very much, Sumo Thori. And Jake Martin as well, tried as well. Moromi, Lieutenant Hughes, Buddha Bear, Alex VOB, and Guitar Lord. Only Guitar Lord out of that whole selection I don't recognize. So that's a step in the right direction, Mo. Hopefully you're not too far away. He says, wow, everyone but Guitar Lord. I've seen in the chat. Exactly. I don't know, maybe, but thank you very much to Sumo and Jake. Let me just very quickly give you one of these.
You little ripper!
You. And I saw Eric Grant said he backed the book. Thank you very much. He says he loves
oh.
the cock. Creator owned comic, of course, he's talking about. And that's another one that we have here. Yeah, these covers are, we didn't actually go through all the covers. I was
Yeah,
kind of going by them while you did the pitch, but they're all beautiful in their own way. What tell us about this one?
Yeah, so this one's done by Nathan Lorenzana, and it features the Crane and Highness Helen. These are two of the new Rogues Gallery members that we're adding to the series, and these are the two femme fatales, right? I think every great hero needs not only great villains, but they need some great female villains as well. And so that was something I really wanted to do with this book. I love Black Cat. I love Catwoman and some of the greatest like kind of that sexual tension that some heroes have between certain characters and
Hmm.
and there's a seductive quality to them that I find very fascinating because it's like a fine line that the hero has to decide like, hey, like I already have my Mary Jane or my Lois Lane, but like you have these other characters that are like in that they do what I do, but, like, it's taboo, like, I don't wanna be with the villain, right? So, there's some of that with these characters, and I absolutely love this cover. Nathan did such a great job with it, and not only is he amazing at the female form, but I really wanted to feature them together because it was important that people realize that these characters not only are they are the designs amazing, but they're gonna be important. Like, all these characters are very important to the story, and, each one plays a different role in how they approach the Monarch Crier and what their function is. They're kind of, all the characters are somewhat marketed as a team, but they're as the Sadistic Six, but they're all, very separate, and they have their own separate motivations for being here. So, um but yeah, we have the Crane, who's like the martial artist, and then Highness Helen, who's more of this, regal type, I would say, seductress type.
Should have jumped in there. I was literally just about to say seductress type.
Yeah, yeah.
There
And
she is
then
there.
this cover, yeah, that's Highness Helen as well. And this cover is done by Pablo Romero, and he's
Love Pablo's work.
yes, I
Big
adore
fan.
his stuff. Every time I see
And
it,
talking
I love
about
it.
being inspired by the art of yesteryear. He's
Yeah,
kind
no
of
kidding, right?
made
Every
that
time
into
I
his
see
own
his
little
stuff,
cottage industry.
I feel like he he captures an aesthetic that harkens back to an era and a time. And he's not only like he's amazing at the female form, but he's very good at capturing another world. It feels like another time, another place with his characters and his artwork. And this is the first time we've seen a character in the superhero world interact with Rufus or someone in the real
Because this
world.
is
So
Rufus, yeah, I imagine.
yeah, that's him. That's him. So it's kind of a little tease, but it's also just the whole series is very much uh interested in the idea of fantasy and reality and how the two relate, but also their contrasts. And so I think I've done this on a few of the other covers where you kind of see Rufus in the background in the first
Mhm.
two issues, but I've never had him like interact with the character before on a cover. And I thought if anyone was going to, it would be someone like Highness Helen who would kind of he would be at the mercy of.
There's most sort of podgy, comic book reading, aging fellas. They might imagine that they do want to run into the sexy seductress characters
They
from the
do,
comic.
right? It's
Well, they
it's
finally do, and then you
this
get a
book
flaming
is
sword in your face.
yeah, like the book is very much, and I'm very fascinated with, the male fantasy and like the power fantasy, right? Like we I remember growing up and I still feel this way. It's like you look at a character or a superhero and you're kind of jealous sometimes, right? Like you're jealous of like what they get to do and how powerful they are and the characters they get to interact with. And there's a bit of that jealousy that kind of seeps through with Rufus. And if only I could live in this other world, that would be so much more exciting and so much more interesting. And so but it's almost like be careful what you wish for, right?
Hmm. There it is on the cover. Now there was another one. Where was it? Here, this one.
Yeah, so that's the A cover. That's by the series artist Jay Mazar. So that's like the basic tier, the basic cover.
Yep.
And you can you can totally see with the bright yellow background. We're fully going for that Silver Age aesthetic. And when you look at a lot of comics of yesteryear, they have a very bright background. And we've seen the Monarch Crier, the main superhero character, on the covers for the previous issues. And with introducing all these new six villains, I really wanted it to feel like, hey, this is their introduction. This is like their time to shine. And, he's going to be facing all these guys, right off the bat. So we have Bitter Pill, who's the guy with the gun, who's crouched, at Postman in the pink and white, and then Highness Helen, and then Ivory Horn, and then Summit. And then on the top right there is the Crane.
There you go. Back in number 93, Jake Martin, Cock Ascending. Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you
so
guys for
much.
backing. Now, this book, I have to point out, if I can get to the top, is, do I have to refresh? I think I do. We picked up a couple. No, I don't have to refresh on Kickstarter. I forget how to use it. That's Australian dollars. So you are at 3,700 and you need to get to 45 and you have a week to go. So even if you
Yeah.
don't back, please, if you can, share it out. Let everyone know that this is happening. It's still available. There's only a week to go on it. We got to get this thing funded. If everybody rallies around and shares it around, we get in front of enough eyeballs. I'm sure we can do it. We've been here before. We've climbed this mountain many a time.
Yes.
And Nandor has himself as well. So,
Yeah.
please do help out. And I assume you have. I didn't scroll down to the add-ons earlier, but it's available in digital. All the covers. Do you have previous things as well available, like stuff that you've
Yes.
put out as
Yeah,
add-on?
so if you keep scrolling down to the add-ons, yeah, sorry, there's a lot of
Here we
rewards, but, yeah, so you can get the digital issues of issues 1 and 2, and then you can also get issues 1 and 2 in the different covers for all of them. So,
There you go.
um, yeah, so, we got Tom Riley, we got Nick Pitara, Tony Harris, and, Jay Mazar, the series artist. We got Marco
Look at this.
Rudy,
It's a massive selection.
yeah, Jim Rugg, and then all the other covers for issue 3. So you can get, yeah, I mean, I have all of these
The
available.
smorgasbord. Oh, and there's fabled offering as well, the one that we were talking about earlier. You can
Yeah,
get that
yeah,
too.
you can definitely get that,
Which
and
is beautiful looking
um,
book.
yeah, yeah. So all of those are available, my back catalog, and if you like a particular cover, they're all available. So if there's ever a time to get in on the series, it's now, because all these covers, these variants are still available for you guys, and there's a lot of different options. So it's a lot of fun.
What's he saying here? I can't believe this. My hero, where could he be? Right here, my lady.
That's right. A damsel in dire need. What does she need, Mike? What does she need?
I don't know. I mean, what could he have to offer? Nick Pitara. I've become a huge fan of Nick's. I met him. God, was it a year ago? Over a year ago, in Tampa when I went over there. He's a super
Oh,
funny guy, and he's getting
yeah.
really successful now. And I love to see it. So awesome.
Yes. Yeah, Nick's
And
amazing. I love Axe Wilder John, his new book looks
yeah, it was so
awesome.
good. And he's like, I'm gonna make a toy of it, and it's gonna cost me 200 grand, but I don't care. I'm like, all right. He's very passionate about
Did
comics
do
and
you
art.
know did you see, how he made that book? Like, so,
Yeah, he made
I
them
was listening to,
single
yeah,
panels,
each panel is 11 by 17,
which is it's
for every.
actually really smart because he got to sell each panel essentially.
Yeah, yeah, the original
And make
art game.
make find new ways to make money. Why not? Good on him.
I
It's hard out.
know.
It's hard out there on those streets for these for us indie comic peddlers, for us connoisseurs of the cock, as we like to call it here in this chat. Jake would
love
like
it.
to find out what she needs. Well, he did back, so
You'll find out.
maybe you'll find out in the book. Yeah, did you catch Nick on the Ink Pulp podcast?
Yes, I did. I love that podcast.
Great episode.
Yes. Yeah,
Really good.
that was fantastic. Yeah, I just discovered that podcast recently, so I've been going through a lot of their back catalog and
They do. I like that. Sometimes they just go complete off the wall and they just talk about what. And I'm like, I'm trying to share something to a friend, like, oh, they're talking about this topic, but it's like 40 minutes of them just,
Yeah, I did that. I sent
it's the only time they get to hang out every week. So they,
I sent a podcast, to a friend, and they were just talking about coffee for like 40 minutes, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, but
like,
you get to the good stuff. No, it's all
yeah, you'll get to it.
So, other than on this page here, where can people follow you?
Yes, so subscribe to my YouTube channel, Foxhole Comics. Just type that in, and you'll find me. I just hit over 500 subscribers, so thank you.
You had a couple
everyone
of videos go really well recently.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations.
Yes, so
I
that's
gotta
been.
get back to the videos. Oh my
I know
goodness.
it's a different kind of beast. YouTube and making kind of video content definitely does not come naturally to me. So it's but I enjoy my favorite part of it, of course, is like my video essays. So I enjoy the writing aspect of it, and getting that all out there, and trying to be a part of the conversation a little bit more. But yeah, people can find me on YouTube, Foxhole Comics, and then my newsletter, foxholecomics.substack.com, and you'll get a lot of behind the scenes stuff there. And then you can follow me at Nondor Fox on X, Twitter, and on Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
Excellent. Like I said, it is going to be a short show. This is my lunch break, and I'm already fading, which is not good because I'm going to do the creator-owned comic art trivia tomorrow instead of art share. So hopefully I'll last the whole show. That'll be a lot of fun. Come in, win yourself a coupon, and we'll have a lot of fun. Nandor, sorry I had to blow you off last week, but I'm happy I was able to get you on and show everyone what you're doing here. It looks like a lot of fun, and I hope you get funded very soon.
Thank you. Yes, I think we'll make it. I know a lot of crowdfunding campaigns and Kickstarters in particular have been kind of struggling, and it's been kind of a different kind of landscape. But I have a lot of faith. I have like almost 250 people that are following the project, so I think they're just waiting till the last few days. Usually Kickstarter, it's the first couple days and then the last couple days, so that things get really big. So but I thank you so much for having me again. It's been a pleasure telling you about the book. I'm always excited to talk.
Yeah, no, I was really happy to learn about it. Like I said, I didn't really know anything much about it, so thanks for coming on and telling us all. And I will leave it there. I'll see everyone tomorrow for the trivia. It should be a lot of fun. And thank you, Nandor, and thank you to chat, and thank you to everyone here, and especially to those who sent some membership gifts. Very much appreciated your generosity. Help keeps the lights on, helps us making comics. So, all right, everyone, that's it from me. Quick in, out. Go back, man child 1 to 3, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, guys, bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.